would expect Amanda Tillotson from the HATS organization to join us as well. She will have a 2% application. I just don't see her in here, so.
Say Melissa?
Amanda Tillotson.
Tillotson.
She's the executive director for HATS. They're gonna put in a 2% request for the
So-
shelter, but I just don't see her.
We got sheriff's first and then he's got last. Do we want to kind of? Doesn't really matter.
Liaison.
We're not gonna spend a lot of time on these. so
Correct.
Mhm.
Correct.
we'll put them all over. I guess we can do.
Okay, Chairman, we are recording and live streaming when you are ready.
Okay, I have 9 o'clock, so at this time, I'd like to call to order the Isabel County Board of Commissioners Criminal Justice and County Affairs Committee. First up, we got our approval of the agenda. We have 2 items we'd like to add. Want to take them? Commissioner, how would you like to deal with that? I guess we could put Mr. Griffiths after 6. And Sheriff, you can have yours either at the first one or at the end. We'll let you decide where you want to have it.
You're muted, or I don't hear you.
So I don't know, Mark, I know has another meeting kind of going, or he's trying to jump on that. So if you want to get Mark done first, we can go to his next one. I'm fine with that.
Okay, so let's, okay,
Move number 6 up to 4 and do both and add.
so we'll do the Humane Society first and then do the sheriff's outlet. Do we
All
have
the
to-
sheriffs last. Just move the sheriffs below.
Right, Mark.
Okay.
That's okay. And do we have somebody on the Humane Society or
We
maybe?
do not, I can speak to it if you want me to, quite quickly.
Okay, well, why don't we leave it that until we get too complicated? So I'll approve the agenda as amended. Is that all right?
It's good.
Okay. So let's do the hats first. We have review and assess the semi-annual 2% application from the Humane Animal Treatment Society. And you're gonna talk on this.
Yes, I can. So Amanda Tillotson, the executive director of the Humane Animal Treatment Society, did reach out. As you are aware, that organization has applied for 2% grants in the past under our umbrella. And Amanda reached out to say, would it be appropriate if we applied for the epoxy painting on the back kennel floors? It's a project we've needed to have done for quite some time. Director Shoemaker had spent some time gathering quotes for that, and it was a capital expense that we actually have on the books this year, but perhaps it is on hold due to our financial situation. So Ms. Tillotson reached out and asked if it would be appropriate to request the funds for the epoxy painting of the kennel flooring. The quote that we shared with HATS was just over 16,000. I do not know if she'll, use that quote to request funds, to cover that quote, or if she's getting quotes on her own, but that would kind of be the magnitude of the ask that they're requesting. So fantastic. Fantastic partnership.
That sounds great to me. I'll make a motion to move that forward to the work session next Tuesday.
Okay, I will support that. Any more discussion? Seeing none, in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. We'll move that forward to the work session. So,
Thank you.
okay, Director Griffiths. We'll move on to your agenda item. Review and assess the semi-annual 2% application from the 911 Emergency Management Department for Phase 3 of the AED project. You're up, Mr. Griffiths.
You're muted again, Mark.
How about now?
Good.
Excellent. Thank you, Commissioner. Yes, this is the final request of a 3-phase project to put AEDs, the automatic external defibrillators, throughout our community and businesses, schools and such, and other organizations. Successfully, we've already distributed over 60 of these. They're coming online. They're going to be interconnected to Alert 911. I'm very excited about the community response, hoping to still get a few more applications. This is the final number of 25 AEDs that we would need to purchase, along with purchase money for the cabinets and other accessories and training stuff that we have going. The total ask is just under $100,000. And we hope it'll be funded and have a great project. We're getting a lot of great feedback from other entities like schools that might be interested in trying to do a 2% in the future or something like that. So as emergency management, we're taking a look at working with them in the future.
I didn't catch, when did you say they were going online?
The AED units themselves have been distributed, they're charged, they're there. We're getting some back end connectivity where they automatically report to 911 when they're being used. So that part's taking place over the next 2 weeks, but they are already working. And if somebody needs them for actual sudden cardiac arrest incident, they'll operate just fine. So pretty exciting to get them out there in the community.
We haven't had any used yet.
Knock on wood. I mean, but we know it's going to happen.
Oh, I know, I'm just
Right.
kind of curious of that. If there is, would be interesting to
Absolutely. Absolutely.
data.
Did anyone from Maury Courts, Martin Ice Arena contact back?
I do not remember. I'll have to check the list and I'll get back with you on that. And if not, I can maybe get with you to how to reach out to who, if you know someone particular.
I reached out already but if they haven't, I'd be happy to remind them
Please.
to get
Yep,
on that.
and for anyone watching the video, please, if you're a business, isabellacounty.org/911. We have a community pads project, so please get on that.
How many units you got yet to distribute? Did I miss?
I think we're down to about 6 or 7 that are left at the current time, but we've had a couple more applications come in. So, and with this one, hopefully it'll get us 25 more units and we'll have the goal of hitting 100 throughout Isabella County for any businesses. And again, 100% free. Services in the grant have been paid up for 5 years, which is a monitoring thing. So many places worry about how will it get checked and how do I know it works. So automatically does that over Wi-Fi and email. So a pretty awesome system.
Well done, Mark.
Thank you.
Make a motion, move forward the phase 3 of the AED project 2% application to the work session next Tuesday.
I will support that. Any more discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. We'll move that forward. And you have another proposal that you wanted to bring in, so 2%.
Yes. Yes, commissioners, thank you very much. The second proposal, I've recently become aware of one of our sirens is currently offline. So I'll be putting a 2% request in to try to get that siren replaced and have some of the other essential things like the batteries and stuff that we'll be able to afford on hand. So I'll be putting in a 2% for that request. Hopefully with supply chain logistics, we'll be able to get the stuff in under 60, 90 days and then try to put that up. Right now, we have one siren currently being replaced on insurance claim that we've had from Payden Park. So a lightning strike happened is what we understand.
Mark, what's the magnitude of that request dollar wise?
It's going to be probably in the nature of $65,000.
Okay.
How often do you run those siren tests? I know I can hear them every now and then, but
Should be every first Thursday of the month at about 3 o'clock, good weather providing.
and what's your typical battery life?
We're trying to set a preventative maintenance replacement plan of every 5 years, replacing 2 batteries in each siren as we go through and do them in a cycle. There's 29 sirens.
Okay, thank you.
I think, I move that we move forward the 2% application for replacements and maintenance of the siren in the amount. Well, don't need the amount for next work session.
Okay, I'll support that. Any more discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, we'll move that forward and thank you, Mr. Griffith. If you got another meeting, go ahead and depart.
Thank you very much, commissioners. Have a great day.
Thank
Yep,
Mark.
thank you. Okay, thank you, Sheriff, for waiting. We'll take up your Proposals, first up, we have review and assess the semi-annual 2% application from Isabel County Sheriff Office. Okay, so that would be, first up, consider approving the 2024 agreement between the County of Isabella County Sheriff's Office and the Village Lake Isabella for Marine Patrol Services and authorize the board chairperson to sign the same. So we've seen this ever since I've been on the board, so I guess the only changes is probably dates, times, and wages adjustments. Is that correct?
That is correct, other than we did add, a section, I should have had it pulled up, I apologize. Basically, it just, I had the attorneys put in a clause, depending on workforce reductions, that, would kind of nil and void the contract if we didn't have personnel to perform those tasks. Not knowing where we were going to fall with, workforce, issues. I thought it was appropriate to put that into these contracts.
Jeremy, what are the dates, or ending date for this one?
So, for the Marine Patrol, we do the, one day in the month of June. We do July 6th which is the village's 4th of July party on the lake. And then we'll pick up 3 days between then and Labor Day.
All right,
Okay, I'm just looking for the addition in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where I stuck it to, apologize.
5.02.1, so
That's the guess. Under added considerations.
it's about the 4th page in.
Yeah, I was just about there. Okay, I just wanted to read it real fast, so,
Oh, understood.
okay, I don't have any objections with it. I just
Okay.
wanted to.
And that was language our attorney, Mr. Perone did come up with to put in there for us.
I really didn't catch that because we kind of looked together, it looks kind of the same. I usually check the dates and the wages. Okay,
I move to bring forward the approval of the 2024 agreement between County of Isabella Sheriff's Office and the Village of Lake Isabella for Marine Patrol Services to the work session with BOC next Tuesday.
and I will support that. Any more discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. That has passed, and we will move that forward to the work session. So next up, we have a similar agreement. Consider approving the agreement between the Isabella County, the County of Isabella, Isabella County Sheriff Office, and the Isabella County Youth and Farm Fair for patrol services during the 2024 Isabella County Youth and Farm Fair, and authorize board chairperson to sign the same. I'm thinking there's another similar.
Correct. Yeah, under .102.
That was quicker.
Yeah.
I was looking for fives.
It's the same exact language.
Yep, I see that. Okay. And then, Article 2 has the schedule.
Yep, dates are updated, salaries are updated. Yep. If you remember last year, we moved, we did a little later patrols in the past, but we had so many issues kind of earlier on. We kind of moved those numbers around a little bit, and last year it did help keep things a little quieter. It seemed like having that presence and stuff a little earlier, so we stuck with that.
Okay. I don't have any more questions.
I move to bring forward the approval of the agreement between County of Isabella Sheriff's Office and Isabella County Youth and Farm Fair for patrol services during the 2024 Isabella County Youth and Farm Fair to the work session of the BOC.
And I'll support that. Any more discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. The motion has passed, and we'll move that forward. So,
Okay.
And Sheriff, you had an additional item you wanted to put forward?
So I do have a couple 2%, but I do have an additional item, that kind of popped up, my ear. So when we were talking last, when the Board of Commissioners approved the integration agreement last, meeting, for the radio tower through MPSCS and so forth. During that process of vetting out that agreement with our attorney and stuff, we had multiple emails back and forth. And one of the things that MPSCS/DTMB from the state wanted was a resolution, for that. It was kind of just a cleanup, just to get the resolution. You've already approved the agreement, so they did give me a stock resolution that, they've used in other counties. I did, forward that on to Nicole and her staff, yesterday, but hoping on Tuesday, the board can revisit that and just get that resolution signed. Again, they've already agreed or, voted to approve that, integration agreement. This is just a cleanup piece to apparently qualify or certify for the state, something they would need.
So I do have a full copy of the integration agreement if you want to read it as approved by the board last Tuesday. And Sheriff, they do have copies of the resolution in their hand.
Okay.
If they forward it on, obviously we'll put both on the agenda for Tuesday.
Pretty simple resolution. It's the state and something they require apparently.
It's not as complicated as some of them. That's for-
No, it's pretty simple. I asked them if they would, accept the certified minutes and so forth, and that wasn't an option, so.
We can. I'll move that we bring forward the resolution 2024-05, with approval of the integration agreement between, Michigan Public Safety Communications in Isabella County, to the Board of Commissioners work session next Tuesday.
I will support that. Is there any more discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. All in favor, signify by aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. We will move that resolution to the work session, so. Pretty simple. Okay, Sheriff, you had more.
Yeah, so I actually have 3, and I apologize for not having them to you by now. I just finished up some numbers yesterday. I'm still waiting for a quote on the final one, but I'll run through them pretty quick. They're fairly simple and easy. The first one is a canine vaccination clinic. One of the things I've noticed since I've taken over with taking the animal control officer over is having conversations, in the hallway and so forth. A lot of people that struggle to purchase dog licenses typically indicate that they can't afford the vaccinations that are required to get the dog license. So I've been in communications with Doc Pohl from Pohl Veterinarian Services about maybe running a couple of clinics this year. Basically, what that would look like is their staff would be on site. We do one maybe in the west part of the county, one in the east part of the county. My staff, a couple of my staffers would be on site. The grant would pay for the vaccinations for the canines, and then my folks would be right there it'd be a 2-part process to get their licenses paid for right there. So we would provide free the vaccination. The owner of the animal would then purchase the dog license right from that point, and be done. And that total was about $5,790. So it's not a big one, but it's one of those things where people are struggling to do one, and maybe they'll come out and get the vaccination for free and get their license, and then we don't have that issue. So that was the first one.
It's a big impact though, Sheriff. Nice project.
I'm sorry, what's that, Nicole?
That's a big impact. It's a small dollar amount, but that's a big impact.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it eliminates I can't afford it, now we're providing it for you. So hopefully people would take advantage of that. I'm hoping to partner on the east side, the east side with the Saginaw Chippewa Indian tribe on a location somewhere right there on the reservation proper, right around their business area and their business locations. So hopefully that'll work out well.
We're gonna move these forward
Yeah, let's
separately,
go
or,
separately,
yeah.
just for clear.
All right, I move that we bring forward the 2% application for a canine vaccination clinic to the work session of Board of Commissioners meeting.
I will support that. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same? Yeah, we probably need to do them separately in case we don't put one
Right.
forward. We have the opportunity, so. Okay, next up, Sheriff.
All right, the next one, fairly simple as well. So part of our construction project going on, we came to a point where they were going to build us a key box. We weren't really interested in a key box. We've had a key box for decades here. So basically, a key box for correction staff would mean that we assign keys out. They utilize them within the jail. They don't open exterior doors, but they utilize them within the facility. We've had a couple of incidents that, keys get put down or something like that. Again, they don't open exterior doors. No inmates are going to be able to use those keys to leave the facility. Those are a totally separate level of key. But it does create some concern and safety inside the building. They could open up individual cells and different things. So, we haven't really had much issues in the past, but the last 6 months, we've had twice a human error, basically. So long and the short of it is there is a device called a key box. It's an electronic key box. It uses a swipe card. It uses a PIN code. It basically, if you're a corrections officer or a sergeant or higher, it has different levels of who can actually access those keys. So say I was a corrections officer, I went to that box, I swipe it, it unlocks a key that I'm only allowed to have. I utilize that key through my shift. If I forget that it's in my pocket or it's fallen off or maybe, it's come up missing, at the end of that shift, it starts sending alerts that key has not been returned. So we can then go and find that key and make sure that the facility stays safe. Gratiot County just purchased one of these. It's working very well for them. The box is $12,760. I think it is a huge safety increase for us to do. So we're going to try to put that forward. It will be able to transfer into the new facility as well. So we have a place for it there as well. So it's a good project. It'll just increase the safety and security of the inmates and the staff and the ancillary people that come, mental health, medical health, school, everybody inside the detention setting.
But does that actually track the key itself or just tells you when it's not there?
It doesn't like GPS track it or anything like that. But it only allows the person's level of access to have that specific key. But it does at the end of their shift, it will start sending alerts that there's a key missing that didn't get returned to that particular for that particular employee. And it lets us know that it's employee X versus whoever. It's just everybody has the same key right now, so it's hard to say who left it or forgot it or where it went, or if an inmate did possess it or take control of it or something without their knowledge. And but we can then lock the facility down and go on the hunt and find that key. And it might be nothing more than the employee forgot to take it off their belt ring and took it home, but we can call them and say, do you have the key? And they say, yes. Now we're way more comfortable that the key is still identified and located.
It sounds like worthy 2% to increase security. I'll make a motion to move forward the 2% application for electronic key box to the work session of the Board of Commissioners meeting.
I will support that. Any more discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, the same. The motion has passed. We'll move that forward to the work session. So, Sheriff, I hope this is the last one because I'm running out of paper and I got to turn it over. So
This is the last one. So this one's pretty critical. I've been in discussions with Motorola in regards to our body worn cameras. as all things go electronic wise, they are kind of squeezing us out of it's called the SI 500 model that we've had since day one with the road patrol. They have been workhorses. They're working great. There have been no issues with them. I don't even think I've had really one that's been down for service or anything in the entire 4 or 5 years we've had them. However, Motorola is changing how the storage is and it does impact these. We're probably the last ones in the country to probably have these right now. So basically they're saying you need to upgrade. We've learned over and over and over again how critical body worn cameras are to safety, security, building trust. I mean, I could go on for an hour about the advantages of having them. So we certainly don't want to not have them. The Motorola solution that they've offered, and the frustrating that, we've only had them for 4 or 5 years and they're phasing them out. However, looking back at Motorola, we have WatchGuard in-car cameras, which were purchased by Motorola, and WatchGuard is a great product. We actually have WatchGuard body cams in the jail right now for the correction staff. They all wear them. So that would be where we want to stay. So we have one platform. The new ones would sync up to the cars, so all the video from an incident on the road would sync from the in-car and the body-worn camera itself, and then it would upload like normal. The cameras are roughly around $50,000, which isn't huge. And the storage is an impactful amount. I was looking for a 5-year contract for storage, but it is extremely expensive. It's very difficult to get quotes out of them right now. I'm trying to get just a 2-year, which I'm guessing this is going to run about $70,000. This 2% will fall in range if I do a 2-year. I've been talking to them about, purchasing our own server, which is a possibility, but then we have to have some cloud-based storage because that's how we get to the redaction piece of the software for FOIA requests. So there's some hurdles to jump. I'm hoping if I can do a 2-year, that gives me a little time to figure out a path. MMRMA is a good partner for storage, so we can task them with some storage. I just don't have time to do that right now. And quite frankly, I think they're going to phase me out by midsummer. So I'm hoping that this 2% is of interest to the tribal nation. I know they are very supportive of body-worn cameras, and it's unfortunate we're back to the table to ask again, but really out of my hands at this point.
So you need to keep that information for the period of the statute of limitations, or how do you determine that, where you can actually clear up? Well, once it goes to cloud, but
So
I'll actually have to have access to that information.
yeah, so one thing worth mentioning is that everything that we have in our current cloud-based solution will transfer to the new one. So it's still Motorola, it's just a different software they have, so we won't lose anything. But to your point, Commissioner, the retention settings, we've adjusted them multiple times. We had to adjust them several times over COVID as the prosecutor's office and the courts, slowed way down. So we were losing some video, so we extended lots of things out. Some things are, if they're a civil rights issue or if they're a homicide or something, we would save them indefinitely. Others, only are required to be saved for 30 days per statute from the state of Michigan. Obviously, we save our stuff a lot longer than that. Most felonies are 4 or 5 years. Misdemeanors are 2 or 3 years at this point. General contact and stuff like that, I think we're up to a year. I'd have to look at the settings again. So it's substantial. We probably have 40 or 50 or 60,000 videos in our cloud. So there's a lot, but it's handy as well when a court case comes up that's a year old and you don't want to lose that data, or you need to go back and look at something. So unfortunately, we have lost some in the past where it's just expired out and purged. And some of it was almost 2 years old, and then all of a sudden somebody needs it for court or something, and a little frustrating. So we have increased those retention periods quite a bit over the last few years.
What's the size of your storage requirements?
Well, it's a cloud base that Motorola has. I have asked them to provide me with what the size is, what terabyte size we are running at this point. And I have not been able to obtain that information yet. So I can guess it's pretty hefty, if we've got 40,000 videos, and video takes a lot of bandwidth and a lot of space. But I do not know the answer to that, and so far it seems to have been a challenge to provide me that.
So the contract is open storage, I feel like there's no upper limit.
Correct. Yeah, if it's unlimited storage.
Okay. That's probably a big reason why it's $70,000 for 2 years.
Correct, yeah. Well, it'd be about 20,000, the first year is included, and it's about 20,000, 25,000 a year, if I remember correctly, so. If we did a 5-year with everything, and they had a couple things on the original quote that we already have in place because of our our in-car cameras. So the whole quote they first gave me was 195,000. So we were trying to shave that down substantially. So, but the 35,000 or whatever it is a year for storage just seemed a little excessive to me.
It is.
For a $40,000, I can buy a pretty good size server, but I just got to make sure we have the ability to make the connections to what's called EL Cloud. And EL Cloud is how we get to the redaction piece. So the redaction is critically important. We do a lot of redaction, for these videos for FOIA and different things like that. So we got to be able to get to that piece of the redaction in the cloud to continue to do that. So we're working with Motorola to figure that out. If it's cheaper for us to have a server, but then have 2 licenses on the EL Cloud that allow us to do FOIA, that might be our path forward. I just don't have. Working with Motorola is real slow sometimes, and I just don't have the time right now to figure all that out. So I'm just trying to get a couple of years built in, and that gives me a grace period to continue to work on this and find a better solution.
Well, maybe I'm getting out of my experience on this, on servers.
Your tractor doesn't have cloud storage?
It does, actually, it does. And you gotta pay for it too, so I think the most expensive one, I actually bounce off and get the free one from the satellite, but anyways, if you had your own server, wouldn't you need 2 servers to back up the main one?
So most servers have rated drives. So sorry. So basically what that means is there might be 4 or 5 drives in there, and they all kind of have the same thing. So if one of those drives fail, you have to fall over to the other one. So
You have redundancy built into those servers.
yes, sir.
I was considering like a destruction or a fire or something.
Yeah, that would be the only downfall. Now, with all that being said, our new facility, when we move, those IDF or those electrical rooms that'll have all of that stuff in there are the Halon type suppression systems and things. So having a fire that's going to destroy it versus or a water damage like what we have now in our current facility in the basement, you remember, is water lines all over. We won't have that new facility. It'll be well protected there, cooled, and have the suppression systems in those rooms.
Well, see, I learned something today, so that's a good day. So
Yes. Yeah.
All right, I don't have any further questions.
I don't either.
Sure. All right, move that we bring forward the 2% application, the sheriff's office for Motorola body worn cams upgrade to the work session Tuesday.
I will support that. Any more discussion? Seeing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. That has passed, and we will move that forward to the work session. So, thank you, Sheriff.
Yep, that's all I have, commissioners. Thank you.
Unless you thought of something else here in the last 5 minutes, you're all set.
I'm good.
Okay. It's been that kind of day. Announcements. Do you have any announcements? Do not. We will make a call to the public. I see nobody physically in the room here. Is there anybody online or on the phone at this time?
There is not at this time, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, I will end the call to the public and I will adjourn the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.